Are your favorite foods secretly stealing years from your life? Imagine this. You wake up, prepare your usual breakfast, a couple of slices of bacon, toast with butter, and a cup of sweetened coffee. It's a comforting routine, one you followed for years. But what if I told you that these seemingly harmless choices could be quietly cutting years off your life? Shocking, right? The reality is, as we age, our bodies become more vulnerable to the effects of certain foods. Foods that, while delicious and convenient, could be contributing to chronic illnesses, inflammation, and overall decline in well-being. Many people believe that making drastic dietary changes is only necessary for those with existing health conditions, such as diabetes or heart disease. However, the truth is that even those who feel relatively healthy can be affected by hidden dietary dangers. Have you ever felt unusually sluggish after a meal? Or noticed that your joints ache more than they used to? What you eat may be playing a larger role in how you feel and how long you live than you realize. Aging is inevitable, but the quality of life we experience as we grow older is within our control. Our diet is one of the most powerful tools we have to maintain energy, mobility, and cognitive function well into our later years. Yet, certain foods, many of which are common in everyday diets, can quietly undermine our health. From processed meats packed with preservatives to sugar-laden drinks that send blood sugar levels on a roller coaster. These foods accelerate aging and increase the risk of diseases that are especially concerning after the age of 65. This brings us to an important question. What are these foods and why are they so harmful? The answer lies in their ingredients and how they affect the body over time. For example, processed meats like bacon and sausages contain nitrates and excessive sodium, both of which have been linked to heart disease and inflammation. Similarly, white bread and refined grains lack fiber, causing blood sugar spikes that contribute to diabetes and weight gain. Fried foods and trans fats clog arteries. Sugary drinks fuel obesity and metabolic disorders, and alcohol stresses the liver and weakens the immune system. And let's not forget the excessive salt hidden in processed foods, which silently raises blood pressure and strains the heart. But here's the good news. Making healthier food choices doesn't mean giving up all the flavors and textures you love. There are satisfying alternatives that not only protect your health, but also enhance your overall vitality. Instead of processed meats, try fresh chicken or fish. Swap white bread for whole grains and choose natural sweeteners over refined sugar. Simple swaps like these can significantly impact your well-being, helping you feel stronger, more energetic, and more resilient as you age. So, are you ready to take control of your health? Let's dive into the 9 common foods that may be shortening your lifespan without you even realizing it, and what you can do to replace them with better options. Sweet treats like cakes, candies, ice cream, and sugary spreads are often associated with celebration, comfort, or childhood nostalgia, but their long-term health effects are far from sweet. Research from institutions like Harvard University has shown that refined sugar can do far more than just add empty calories. High sugar intake contributes to chronic inflammation, a known trigger for a host of serious conditions including type 2 diabetes, obesity, cardiovascular disease, and even cognitive decline. As we age, our body's ability to process sugar becomes less efficient, making older adults particularly vulnerable to sugar's negative effects. Spikes in blood sugar can lead to insulin resistance over time, while the inflammation sugar provokes may accelerate aging in brain cells, increasing the risk of memory loss and dementia. But reducing sugar doesn't mean giving up indulgence altogether. Fresh fruits offer natural sweetness along with fiber, vitamins, and antioxidants. Dark chocolate with at least 70% cacao content is another smart alternative, delivering flavonoids that benefit heart and brain health when consumed in moderation. A bowl of unsweetened yogurt topped with berries or sliced banana can also satisfy a sweet tooth while supporting gut health and stable blood sugar. In choosing these alternatives, we're not only protecting our bodies, we're also preserving our minds. Sugary drinks such as soda, canned fruit juices, and sweetened teas may seem harmless or even refreshing, but they are among the leading contributors to serious health problems, especially as we age. According to both the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, and the American Heart Association, AHA, These beverages are major drivers of obesity and type 2 diabetes in adults. A single serving can contain more added sugar than the recommended daily limit, causing a rapid spike in blood glucose levels that disrupts insulin function and stresses the body's metabolic system. Over time, frequent consumption of sugary drinks can lead to insulin resistance, chronic inflammation of blood vessels, and increased risk of cardiovascular disease, conditions that become more difficult to manage after the age of 65. Even drinks labeled as natural or fruit-based can be deceptively high in added sugars, making it crucial to read labels carefully and make conscious choices. Healthier alternatives are both simple and satisfying. Plain water remains the gold standard for hydration, while unsweetened herbal teas and freshly squeezed juices with no added sugar offer flavor without harmful additives. Another great option is fruit-infused water, which combines hydration with a touch of natural sweetness from real fruits, herbs, or cucumber slices. Making these small but consistent changes can significantly reduce the risk of metabolic disease and support long-term health and vitality. Processed meats such as bacon, sausages, and deli slices may seem like convenient and flavorful additions to daily meals, but mounting scientific evidence suggests they can pose serious health risks, especially for those over the age of 65. These meats are often preserved using nitrites and nitrates, additives that the World Health Organization, WHO, classifies as Group 1 carcinogens, meaning they are proven to increase the risk of cancer in humans. Most notably, regular consumption of processed meats has been strongly linked to a higher likelihood of colorectal cancer, a concern that becomes even more pressing with age. In addition to their carcinogenic properties, processed meats tend to be high in sodium and saturated fats, both of which contribute to chronic inflammation, elevated blood pressure, and cardiovascular disease. These are key drivers of poor health outcomes later in life, including strokes, heart attacks, and decreased mobility. Fortunately, healthier protein sources are widely available and can be easily incorporated into daily meals without sacrificing flavor or satisfaction. Swapping processed meats for fresh options like chicken, fish, or boiled eggs, or incorporating plant-based proteins such as lentils, chickpeas, and beans can significantly improve nutritional intake while reducing exposure to harmful additives. These choices not only support heart and digestive health, but also promote longer life expectancy and better overall well-being. White bread and refined grains, such as white pasta, rice crackers, and many breakfast cereals, are dietary staples for many, but they offer far less nutritional value than most people realize. These foods are made from grains that have been stripped of their bran and germ, removing most of the fiber, vitamins, and essential minerals in the process. What remains is a rapidly digestible carbohydrate that causes blood sugar to spike soon after consumption. This blood sugar surge, followed by a quick crash, not only leads to energy dips and increased hunger, but over time, it can contribute to visceral fat accumulation, the dangerous fat that wraps around internal organs and increase the risk of type 2 diabetes. As we age, our body becomes less efficient at managing glucose, making it especially important to avoid foods that disrupt insulin sensitivity. The good news is that nutritious and satisfying alternatives are widely available. Whole grains like oats, brown rice, quinoa, and whole wheat bread are rich in fiber, which slows digestion, supports stable blood sugar, and improves gut health. These options also contain a range of beneficial phytonutrients and antioxidants. Transitioning to whole grains doesn't mean giving up comfort foods. It means making smarter swaps that fuel your body with sustained energy and help prevent chronic disease. In the long run, these small dietary changes can have a powerful impact on overall wellness and longevity. Excessive sodium intake is a silent threat that often hides in plain sight, lurking in canned foods, instant noodles, salty condiments, and processed cheeses. While these foods may be convenient and flavorful, the health consequences of consuming too much salt are well documented and severe. According to the World Health Organization, WHO, exceeding 5 grams of salt per day, about 1 teaspoon, significantly increases the risk of hypertension, which is a leading cause of stroke, heart disease, and kidney failure. The danger lies in the way sodium affects the body's delicate balance of fluids. Too much salt causes the body to retain water, putting extra pressure on blood vessels and overworking the heart and kidneys. This is particularly concerning for older adults, whose organs may already be functioning less efficiently. The good news? Reducing sodium doesn't mean sacrificing flavor. A growing number of people are turning to natural herbs and spices like cilantro, rosemary, basil, and thyme to elevate taste without adding salt. Ingredients like fresh lemon juice, vinegar, and even garlic can provide depth and brightness to dishes. Limiting or replacing traditional seasonings like fish sauce, soy sauce, or seasoning powders with low sodium or homemade alternatives is another practical step. Small changes in seasoning habits can lead to big improvements in heart health, particularly in the golden years. Trans fats are among the most harmful dietary fats for human health, particularly as we age. Found in products like margarine, packaged baked goods, snacks, and buttery crackers, these artificially produced fats were once popular for their ability to extend shelf life and enhance texture. However, overwhelming scientific evidence has linked trans fats to serious cardiovascular risks. They are notorious for raising LDL, bad cholesterol, and lowering HDL, good cholesterol, a dangerous combination that significantly increases the risk of heart disease, stroke, and systemic inflammation. In fact, due to the well-documented health hazards, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, FDA, banned the use of artificial trans fats in processed foods starting in 2018. Unfortunately, trans fats can still be found in products sold in other countries, especially in places without stringent food regulations. For older adults, whose cardiovascular systems may already be under stress, consuming even small amounts of trans fats can be particularly detrimental. The good news is that heart-healthy alternatives are widely available. Fats from whole, natural sources such as extra virgin olive oil, avocados, canola oil, walnuts, and chia seeds not only provide essential fatty acids, but also support cognitive health, reduce inflammation, and promote overall longevity. Choosing these wholesome options is a simple yet powerful way to protect the heart and support healthy aging. Fried foods, like French fries, fried chicken, and deep-fried patties, are undeniably tempting, but they come with a heavy cost to long-term health. These foods are often cooked at high temperatures in oils rich in saturated fats and trans fats, which not only increase levels of LDL, bad cholesterol, but also promote inflammation and arterial plaque buildup. Repeatedly heating oils can also generate acrylamide, a potentially carcinogenic compound formed when starchy foods are fried at high temperatures. According to numerous studies, frequent consumption of fried foods is associated with a higher risk of atherosclerosis, hardening of the arteries, stroke, and dyslipidemia, a condition marked by unhealthy levels of lipids in the blood. These risks become more pronounced with age, especially as the cardiovascular system becomes more vulnerable. Fortunately, healthier cooking methods can provide the same satisfying flavors without the associated health hazards. Air frying, for instance, significantly reduces oil use while still producing crispy textures. Baking, steaming, or sautéing with heart-friendly oils like extra virgin olive oil are also excellent alternatives. These methods preserve nutrients and minimize harmful compounds, making them ideal for older adults seeking to protect their heart and maintain healthy blood lipid levels. In the end, it's not just about avoiding fried foods, it's about learning to cook smart and eat well. Alcohol consumption, especially in older adults, carries risks that far outweigh its fleeting pleasures. According to both the World Health Organization, WHO, and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, alcohol can significantly impair health as we age. The liver becomes less efficient at metabolizing alcohol, making even moderate amounts more toxic. This can lead to liver damage, weakened immune function, and increased inflammation. Furthermore, alcohol can disrupt sleep patterns, contribute to dehydration, and impair balance, greatly increasing the risk of falls and fractures, a serious concern for those over 65. Another critical issue is the dangerous interaction between alcohol and medications. Many older adults are on prescription drugs for conditions such as high blood pressure, diabetes, or anxiety. Medications that can interact unpredictably with alcohol, leading to harmful or even life-threatening effects. Fortunately, there are enjoyable and refreshing alternatives. Sparkling water with a slice of lemon or cucumber, herbal teas, Alcohol-free mocktails or natural coconut water can provide the satisfaction of a drink without the negative consequences. These options hydrate, support digestion, and promote better sleep. Benefits that are far more sustainable than what alcohol can offer. By making this shift, we prioritize clarity, balance, and long-term well-being. Ultra-processed foods, such as instant cereals, fast food, packaged snacks, and ready-to-eat frozen meals, have become a staple in modern diets, particularly due to their convenience and long shelf life. However, numerous studies, including research published in BMJ and JAMA, have highlighted the serious health risks associated with regular consumption of these products. These foods are typically high in additives, unhealthy fats, refined sugars, and low in essential nutrients, all of which contribute to a host of chronic conditions. Most alarmingly, frequent consumption of ultra-processed foods has been linked to an increased risk of early death, cardiovascular disease, cancer, and even depression. The issue lies in the fact that these foods are heavily manufactured, stripping away natural nutrients and replacing them with artificial ingredients that often negatively impact our body. Additionally, their addictive qualities make them difficult to resist, leading to overconsumption. To combat these health risks, it's essential to focus on real, whole foods, fresh vegetables, fruits, nuts, seeds, legumes, fish, and unprocessed meats. By preparing meals at home using fresh, unrefined ingredients, individuals can better control their nutritional intake, reduce exposure to harmful additives, and improve overall well-being. Opting for natural foods over ultra-processed alternatives not only supports physical health, but also promotes mental clarity and longevity. Now that you know the hidden dangers lurking in some of your favorite foods, the next step is putting this knowledge into action. The good news? You don't have to overhaul your diet overnight. Small, intentional changes can yield remarkable benefits for your health and longevity. Think of it this way. If you reduce your intake of processed meats, sugary drinks, or fried foods just a few times a week, you're already making progress. By swapping white bread for whole grains, reaching for fruit instead of pastries, and drinking water instead of soda, you're giving your body the nutrients it needs to thrive. Over time, these small adjustments can lead to lower cholesterol, improved digestion, better energy levels, and even a sharper mind. But let's be honest, making changes to long-standing eating habits isn't always easy. Food is deeply tied to our emotions, routines, and even social interactions. You might wonder, will healthier choices be as satisfying? Or what if I miss the foods I love? The key is to approach this journey with balance and flexibility. You don't have to give up all indulgences. Instead, focus on moderation and finding alternatives that keep you both satisfied and nourished. Let's consider a real-life example. Take John, a 68-year-old retiree who spent years enjoying processed meats for breakfast, white bread sandwiches for lunch, and fried foods for dinner. After experiencing fatigue and high blood pressure, he decided to make gradual changes. He replaced his morning bacon with scrambled eggs and avocado, swapped white bread for whole wheat, and opted for grilled chicken instead of fried. Within months, his energy improved, his blood pressure stabilized, and he felt years younger. This isn't just about avoiding disease, it's about enhancing your quality of life. Imagine feeling more energetic, reducing joint pain, improving mental clarity, and staying active longer, all by making smarter food choices. The foods we eat today lay the foundation for how we feel in the years to come. So, take a look at your plate. Are the foods you eat fueling your vitality? Or are they quietly stealing years from your life? The decision is yours. By prioritizing whole, nutritious foods and reducing harmful ingredients, you can enjoy a longer, healthier, and more fulfilling life. After all, isn't that what we all want? It's never too late to start making choices that your future self will thank you for. Thank you for joining us today. We hope you learned something valuable. Please share a key takeaway and how you'll apply it in practice. Your feedback helps us create more relevant content. If you found this video useful, please support us by liking, subscribing, and sharing. We look forward to seeing you in the next video.